guys and gals? Nary here from Drakewing Gamers. Send me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on Let's Play episode of Dawn Chorus, Devon's Path. That's right, y'all. We're going right back into Daddy Panther's path. Well, Daddy Melanistic Jaguar's path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright, the orchestra stands up. The double door in the side opens. Out of it comes a conductor, a caribou wearing an all-black tux, making his way to the center of the stage and onto a platform in the middle to the roar of the enthusiastic clapping. A dignified, courteous bow, and he turns around to face the ensemble. His paw in the air, the stick held between his fingers like a wand. He holds it still for 10 long seconds before a flick of the wrist sends the machinery of the orchestra into motion. As the first sound starts, I rest my paw on the armrest, and it bumps against Devon's. It lasts just a brief moment, but his paw closes over mine and rubs over my fingers before he puts his back on the side of the wooden slab. My heartbeat goes mad. The car speeds up and the streetlights blur into a long streak of light. The night is dark and the road is lonely. There's no steering wheel and the car is taking me where it wants. It's my paw flooring the gas pedal, though. I've been running away since I left home that morning, packed everything I needed and kept it in my trunk, keeping on the move. I did come back from that trip, but never unpacked my bags. I felt like I'd never really fully returned, always on my toes. And I kept running. That's how I spent my time, running and working out. And whenever I felt this heavy feeling creeping into my chest, I went for a run. A month after I found something cheap and moved out, and then I moved out again. And I had my first fuck buddy, then another, and my first boyfriend. But I kept my backpack ready to get up and leave at any moment. And then Toby. I felt like something more serious, and I thought I committed myself to it. But I didn't think about our future. Only the present existed. I met with him once in a while in a motel somewhere, or a hotel if he could afford it. We visited cinemas. We've been to beaches. I was happy with that. I didn't see where we could progress further. My bag was still there in the trunk of my car. I never unpacked it anywhere. Even here, where my things begin to fill the shelves and cupboards, when Rune approached me and showed me around the city. The first occasion I had to get close to someone, I remained closed. Even with a warm body next to mine in my bed, I stayed alone. How many years is that now? 6? How many more? It took me another continent already. Where will I end up if I keep on running away? The door opens. They take me out of the car and move inside. The scenery changes. This is my room. 2. It's a cold night. Third I'm about to spend here. Frozen by that one with roads, I lie on my bed. There are no stars on the sky, and I'm swimming in a sea of darkness. Tonight is so lonely I feel I could die. It's just a feeling, I tell to myself. This is just a feeling and not the truth, and it will pass. My phone burns in my pocket. With my eyes closed, I can see the message on the screen. I'm sorry and I miss you. I miss you so much. When I put it like that, I didn't mean it was over. I meant that it was hard for me and hoped we could work on our issues together. I got a new apartment and I'm living alone now. It's been terribly lonely in here. I know your living situation wasn't the easiest. If you can move in with me and we can try again. I know I'm asking for a lot, but please think about it. How could I fuck this up so bad? We really did work well together, and I think I did feel something for him. Do I still feel something? No. It's a closed book, I think, and I am not moving back right when my life here started to go well. Did I want us to succeed, really? I thought I committed myself, but did I? I didn't want to hold his paw in public. That's what we split over. But it wasn't that. It was me afraid to go further with this, afraid to really make it something serious, afraid to stand up for myself and what I wanted in a place that felt hostile, afraid to be seen and to let anyone close. It's me who ruined our relationship because I was too afraid to really want it. I shiver, feeling the darkness seep through the window into the room. I like the trans pride blankets. Those are so cool. I cry a tear, though. A single tear for the year we spent together. He deserves this much, at least. There's still this tiny pain and aching in my chest. And as I repeat in my head, Toby, Toby, something within me resonates. I don't let things go, do I? And he deserved better than this. I owe him a response, at least. I take out the phone and start typing. My thoughts pull me back into a tunnel of memories. 3. It takes me a confused moment to understand where I am. A tiny screening room, stiff seats, and the smell of dust in the opaque air. One of my favorite places in the city. The room was full full that night, and the audio system blasted at the top of its sonic capabilities. Cease to be reasonable was what brought all these people here. I didn't know what to expect, never having watched the film before. I just liked the band playing. Never got into them properly before that, but the infective energy of Psycho Murderer and Holmes and Movement always impressed me. What I didn't know was that most of their set would be even more energetic. It was the height of the summer, right before the summer solstice, Midsummer, as my mom called it, holding a barbecue to commemorate. Everyone was full of sun and smiles, and days felt like a fever dream. The energy in the room was rising as the amount of musicians on stage grew, until it reached a critical point. The first person to get up, walk down the screen and start dancing was an old stout that had moves like a person half his age at most. Right after half the room followed, and me alongside them. I waved my limbs as if in a trance, not caring if anyone looked. It felt like the right way to dance to this. The set peaked with Speaking Snouts playing Once in a Lifetime. I knew the song, but never thought about the lyrics before. The two parts that I consist of separated for these brief minutes. My body danced and danced, feeling the rhythm, free of the shackles of reason and the self-censoring mind. And the mind thought of the song. It wasn't nonsensical mumbling. It spoke of a moment of absolute clarity, when you pull over and stop for the moment on the highway of your life and look at the road stretching in both directions, both lines disappearing somewhere over the horizon, further than one can look. I understood it, but I didn't feel it. Now in the concert hall in a Norwegian town, listening to a piece that sounds like nothing else I've heard, now I feel it, and it is scary. Interlude. Carven. The bell tolls solemnly, once, twice, thrice. The day is ending over the piazza, and the birds fly over our heads, calling back to the campanile as they pass. My lungs fill with the crispest air, smelling of rosemary and thyme and honey. The band on the square plays a jazz cover of All I Require with no lyrics, but I know them by heart, singing them along to the music in my head. The sky is pink and orange and blue, and this is the best day I've ever had. Il souhaite café, signor? The waiter puts a coffee directly on the middle of the table, between me and Devon. Still can't believe we're here. It felt like an unattainable dream, you know. I'd never traveled much, never got many chances to be anywhere far from home. Maybe that's why I moved out as far as another country as soon as I could. But to be here, this is... I look at his face, his handsome face, his patient and calm face, his understanding face. My paws and his rested on top of the wooden table. This is the peak. Do you think we could stay here? It's close to the sea, just as you like. It's quiet and peaceful, and we have everything we need here, don't we? I dreamt of moving to a place like this, too. A slow life, with evenings spent in books or on the couch listening to music together with you. The band finishes, and then there's only the broom of wind cleaning the plaza, rustling the dead leaves. Devon stays silent, only looking at me. In his eyes opens such a vast depth that I feel like he knows me better than I do myself. I lean into the cup and look into the dark liquid filled to the brim. As I lift it to my snout, the surface ripples, threatening to spill. I take a sip and my vision fills with black. Black that swallows the table and the band and the whole piazza, and then Devon, and then me. I'm alone again. No, I've been alone all this time. The peak I'm dreaming of, it's so far and real I could just barely dare to visualize it. Yes, Devon is sitting next to me, but how close to me is he really? This is just a fantasy that plays in my brain, a snow globe on my shelf that I shake to look at a smiling paw and paw. I get up from the wet sand. The sea washes at my ankles and I shiver in the cold Norwegian night. What do I even want? Do I think that Devon and me could work? All of me screams to answer yes, but I want to know, that I won't know what to do with myself if I can't have this man. But how would that even look? Why is my heart burning so much? The smaller I turn, the louder it wails. The age difference between us, could we make it work? Should he say no to me regardless of what he thinks? And what does he think of me? Loops and loops of questions and self-doubt, self-referential, all leading back into each other. They all lead somewhere. There's nothing for me but to either try or back out, and I know at this point I couldn't let myself not at least try. I need to get him to stay here, and I have to get close and try to get him for myself. My heart remembers how it felt to hold his paw, and the feeling warms me up from the inside like a bonfire. I have to try. 4. I'm damaged goods, resigned to this state of constant transience. This is not the darkest hour. That one has already passed. But this is pretty close. My wound existed before me as something I've read once. I didn't understand it, but the sentence made me feel something, resonating with some part of me I didn't give voice to that often. Are these gashes I have something that was meant for me? Is there any point to the hurtful experiences I've had, even if they seem pointless? I refuse to believe so. I don't believe pain could make us more beautiful. I feel like I'm less, like my perspectives are narrower, my potential unused, my soul twisted permanently under the weight I've been carrying. And I can't help but wonder, everything I go through, does it happen to me, or does it become me? Am I the wounds I carry? Am I a lake slowly filling with all I encounter, all I see and do, everything I experience and feel? Or am I just a boat sailing from one side of the lake of my life to the other, merely grazing against everything that's already waiting out there for me? Is there ever an answer? It's building castles in the sand, indentations only signifying the real functions. It's all stories we tell ourselves to imbue our life with meaning, to weave a narrative and wrap it in a tale, because that's the way we function. We always see ourselves in the world around us in terms of stories. So if none of them is real, shouldn't it only matter that I find one that works for me? There's another thing I thought of lately. A thought I'm still afraid to let in. I always wanted to find a home, a place where I'd feel right, someone who'd take me in. I thought that then surely everything would fall into place. But what if there just isn't a thing? If homes aren't found, but constructed always? Suddenly over time, when you're living in one place or with the same people, one day when lying on a couch with a glass of wine in your paw, you find yourself thinking to yourself, this is home. Coda, Devon. The curtain falls, the applause echoes, and then dies down. The scene is empty save for my lone figure, standing in the middle. This is the scene of my life. The lights are dimmed and the music is gone. There's a mirror in front of me, floating in the air. Or is it just me standing before myself? I look at myself, and in my open eyes I see all of my emotions, all my experiences, and I see the weight on my shoulders. A single tear rolls down the cheek in the reflection, and I feel the warmth of it on my fur. This is my moment of clarity. I understand myself better than ever before, as if an old friend sat down next to me and started telling me the story of his life and trials, and I listened, empathizing, and then gave him a comforting hug. I look at myself and I look back. In my own eyes, I feel seen and accepted. As I lived my life, there was always one constant. There has never been enough love. But now that I've found some love for myself, I think I can go instead of only running away. Someone joins my reflection on the scene. It's Rune standing on one side, and then Carvin appears on the other. Alright, y'all. I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or our YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!